So it's that time of year and I'm getting an abundance of hen eggs, and I just want to try something I haven't tried before, which is called water glassing. It's something I've looked into a little bit, and I just want to try and preserve the abundance of eggs that I'm getting at the moment for a time when the hens go off lay. So basically, this is water glassing, putting fresh eggs. I don't know how old they can be, but I'm using basically within the last few days. This is 3 days worth of eggs here. I just figure the fresher the better. And the idea is that you use this stuff, which is hydrated lime or slaked lime. Now you get sort of commercial slaked lime, which is for mortar and stuff like that. So you want to get food grade. So I got this from a homebrew company. I assume it's used for adjusting the alkalinity in homebrew. So it's food grade, and the idea is I couldn't find a lot about it in the UK. It's very popular, it seems, more amongst sort of preppers and that, and homesteaders in America. So they put 1 ounce of hydrated lime to 1 quart of filtered or distilled water. I have got a distiller, but I haven't got any distilled water at the moment, so I've got a water filter countertop one attached to my tap, so I'm just using filtered water. Now 1 quart, here in the UK we tend to use fluid ounces or millilitres or whatever, so it's basically 946 or 7 millilitres. A quart, a US quart, is what I found. So basically it's 1 ounce to 1 quart, or 947 millilitres. So the eggs, you don't want any dirt on them at all, so I'm saving all the best eggs. I'm just going to get as many as I can into a clean washed kilner. Now the eggs need to be fresh and unwashed, clean and unwashed, because you don't want to wash off the bloom. When eggs are laid, they have like a protective layer on them, which is called the bloom, and this protects the shell, which is permeable, from bacteria and nasties from getting in the shell. And I think the idea, like I say, this is the first time I've done it. I did this lot last week, so this is my 2nd jar, but it's the first year I've ever tried it. And supposedly, because you've got a lot of sort of calcium, and it's calcium hydroxide is another name for it, so it's basically a calcium drenched water, and apparently that basically seals the shell, which is porous. Obviously eggs will breathe and you will lose a certain amount of moisture out of them, which is why a bad egg will float, because you'll get more air in there, in the airspace. So yeah, apparently the way it works is by completely sealing the shell, and it just kind of holds the egg in sort of stasis, I suppose, and stops it from going bad, and supposedly can last up to 18 months. Now I probably won't be storing them for that amount of time. It would probably just be into this winter when the hens go off lay, so I probably have no need to store them that long, but I'm just hoping that this will work. I have tried other methods. I've got a dehydrator, and I have dehydrated 2 batches of 40 eggs, which I will do a video on, but I had a bit of a problem. I bought some silicone, so that egg I won't put in. See, there's a little patch of poo on there, that won't go in. Yeah, so in the dehydrator I bought some silicone trays, shallow sort of trays that I cut to fit with a little lip, and it worked brilliantly. Powdered them, ground them up, and it worked really well, but the silicone had imparted like a plasticky taste. So the first batch I'm going to have to throw away, because even though it worked and we rehydrated it and used it, and just to see how it all works and how it rehydrated, Flavour wasn't all that good, so I'm going to have to sort out what I've done since is I've cooked the trays at their maximum temperature for I think I did them for about 30 or 40 minutes, and in the hope that that will sort of take off the new silicone sort of taste that was getting into the powdered egg. But yeah, so I'm hoping this will be another sort of string to my bow to have basically eggs that was as good as the day they were laid, is what they say. Just a little bit of sawdust just stuck on there. Other than that, that's fine. So I think I have seen people use food grade plastic buckets. You don't have to necessarily use glass, but I have seen a couple of things that say that it is best for it to be airtight. Obviously oxygen is the thing that will, a lot of things will go off if they get oxygen to them. So that's obviously the thing that you're trying to keep out. Whether that is 100% true, because I've seen a few videos. I saw one lady doing it with a plastic bucket with a screw top lid, and whether that had an airtight seal, I don't know. But I'll try and get these to sit right. But I'm just going to use kilner jars because I'm only going to have a certain amount. So that's about it. I didn't actually count how many I put in there. I think I got 20 in that one, and it's the same size jar. So I think it's about 20. 15, might be 18 actually. So basically that's about it. Now, what I'm going to do is just weigh out 1 ounce of the hydrated lime. I suspect you probably don't really want to breathe this stuff in, so just do it carefully. So 1 ounce is 28 grams. 28.2, that's fine. Now I did find with that first jar that 1 quart wasn't quite enough, so I just had to do a second tiny little batch, but I've weighed out 1 quart ready in this jug. So I'm just going to pour that into there. A little bit dusty. And just basically give this a good stir until you can feel there's no more lumps or anything, that it's all mixed into the water. It doesn't completely dissolve, and you will, as you can see in this jar, you'll get some of the powder sitting at the bottom and sort of on the sides of the eggs. But hopefully that's fine. That's how it looks in all the other videos that I've watched, and it seems to be quite a normal way it does it. So they say not to worry if you get the powder at the bottom. There's plenty of calcium mixed in the water to seal the eggshells. So that feels like there's nothing at the bottom now, like it's all suspended in the water. I'll just give it a bit of a whirlpool to keep it mixed whilst I pour. And basically just pour this over the eggs. So I don't think this is quite gonna do it. It didn't with the last one. No, there we go. So I just need a few more mils. So all I do is literally just go and get a little bit more filtered water. Just roughly do it to the same Same concentration. Okay, well that'll be slightly over because there's some stuck to the spoon, but only very slightly. I do quite like the idea. I watched a video of a lady that used the bucket, like I say. She used I think it was a 10-litre bucket, half filled it with the lime solution and just added the eggs to it daily until it was full. So I quite like that idea. I might have to have a look on Amazon and buy myself a screw top airtight bucket, food grade, that I can get quite a few dozen eggs in. So that has come up over the eggs. Obviously that is the most important thing. In fact, I can just get a touch more in there. You don't want any of the eggs poking out the top because obviously they will then not be sealed. And then just seal it down and just right on there with a Sharpie. The date, and hopefully they will be fine well into the winter. Like I say, up to 18 months or longer is what they say. I don't have any need to store them that long. It's just keeping the harvest really to a time when the hens go off laying. They do sometimes go off laying midsummer. You get the burst in the spring and then it will tail off sometimes in the summer. Especially I've got an older breed and I get a lot of brooders quite often, so I end up getting less eggs. So it's really just to store them. I know you can freeze eggs. I don't have a lot of room in my freezers, and obviously if you get a power outage or anything, you can lose them. So I just wanted to try this. I brought, what did I get? There you are, 250 grams. So I got half a kilo of hydrated lime, and that only cost about £6, £5 or £6, I think. So that's quite a cheap way of doing it if it works. So it'd be interesting to see. I might do a little video just when I use the first one to see what they're like. Now, what they say is to just do the float test when you take them out, wash them off just to get the lime water off them, give them a wash, and just do the float test. Although I assume they would float in this water. I don't know if the hydrated lime would make the water consistency any different, but just do the float test anyway. And when you crack them, just have to give them a sniff, make sure they're fine. But hopefully it'll work, and it's another string to my bow really of being able to preserve another of my products going forward, to make the most of them. Because otherwise, yes, I could sell them. I have sold them, but I've had a few issues with kids messing about with the box and tipping the eggs out and stuff, and I've had a bit of money stolen. It's a bit of a shame, modern times, but there doesn't seem to be much respect for honesty boxes these days. So I've kind of given up on that idea, and I'm just going to try and preserve them for my own use going forwards. But anyway, guys, that is it. And I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it gives you some ideas. And like I say, it's not too expensive to try it. If you've got some old jars, you can order the slaked lime on online, anywhere really, but just get food grade and give it a go. Preserve your eggs. Anyway, guys, take it easy, and we'll see you next time.